Hi, this is Carolina, the Soul Coach. Welcome to my podcast. Hello and welcome to this week's Sunday Catchup podcast. How are you? And how has your week been? I really hope it's been a good one. So this week I thought I would record the Sunday Catchup podcast on video. Yay! Hello everyone. Thank you so much for listening and for watching. It's great to have your company and it's great to be doing this live. And when I have, I do have time to do it every week, but sometimes I do it when I'm in the middle of something. So I don't always have time to set up to do it on YouTube. And sometimes I do it in my pajamas. But today I just thought I would do it and I'm not in my pajamas. So I need to intro to this. So new intro. What is it? So I haven't remembered this off by heart. So I've got my laptop here. So welcome to the Journey Within podcast. My Sunday Catch-Up, where I share what's been on my mind in the past week. And there's a lot to share with you this week. The highs, the challenges, the unexpected moments, and there has been plenty of magic this week. And the little things that just made me stop and think. No script, as you can tell. Just real reflections as I process life in real time. So whatever you're doing, whether you're unwinding with a cuppa, like me, I've got my cup of hot water here, or out for a walk, or on your way to work, or whatever you're doing, let's just take a moment to look back before stepping into our new week. And if anything resonates, as always, I'd love to hear from you. And I do hear from so many of you, and it's an absolute joy to hear from you. Drop me a message or share your reflections over at the Soul Coach on social media or YouTube. So there we go. Really so. I just absolutely love that. It's really cool. And I've got my notes here about this week because it's been a busy week. It's been non-stop actually. And I'm going to start with a little story because it's magic in action. It really is. So today, which I'm recording this late on Saturday because tomorrow, which is Sunday, I am working all day in the shop with my lovely mum. And then we've got Harriet and Matt coming round for dinner. So I'm not going to have time to record this tomorrow. So I'm doing it this afternoon. Now, and I will come to the story. And it's nice to have a Saturday off. It really is. It's such a long time and I'm fitting so much in. But is working on the house. So you might hear some sawing or you might hear some background noise. But that's just doing our new, which I've spoken about on many of the podcasts, ensuite. So, yeah. Do you like my glasses? Then you. It's because I've reached over 50 and I've had to give in. So over 40, when I was 40 something, I had to give in to get my short glasses to read books and stuff. And now I've kind of got way over 55. I've had to give in to seeing long distance. So I've got these now. But I can see much clearer, which is great. Anyway, back to the story. So Will and I, on our day off today, we decided that we needed to go to do our ritual down to East Preston, where we love to go for a walk. And it always is so nice down there. So we drive down and we listen to a podcast. And okay, so I'm going to back up actually. Sorry. I don't know why I'm apologising. Yeah, I'm just going to back up. So yesterday I said to Will, if we can, it'd be really great if we can go down the coast. And our friends Scott and Nicola live on the way down to the coast, and we kind of passed their door. And I thought last night, why don't I ring them to see if they fancy a walk by the coast, because I know that they go down there and walk the dogs down there. And I just thought that as a fleeting thought, as you do. And I thought, oh no, Nicola is probably away and they probably, they're busy. So I just didn't pick the phone up. Anyway, Will and I got up this morning and Will forgot. He thought we were going to work and he needed to get some shopping. So we do get to the end of this story. So he said, well, why don't I go on my own shopping in Dorking? And then I'll come back, you can potter, and then we'll go to the sea. And I said, nah, that's silly, because we're going to go to Dorking and then we can go straight onto the sea. So I came with him. To cut a long story short, I went with him to Lidl's. I think I doubled his basket going to Lidl's because there was lots of things I wanted. Anyway, so we went to Lidl's, and we drove down the coast. And on the way, we listened to a podcast, which is what we traditionally do. So first of all, we tried a Joe Vitale one, who's got a new one out. And we love listening to Joe Vitale, but someone else was recording it. And it wasn't resonating with us. So I looked for Stephen Bartlett podcast because I love Steve Bartlett. And listened to his podcast, and it was with Joe Dispenza. Have you listened to any of his? He's brilliant. He's absolutely amazing. And he was talking about how we can heal our bodies and how we can heal trauma and how we can literally change our life through meditation, through connecting within. And it was absolutely fascinating. And it was because this week I've been doing a lot with my Living a Life of Magic course. It was kind of different words, but same thing of what's in the Living a Life of Magic course. So it was just me and Will were just like, wow, this is incredible. This is amazing. This is what's in our course. It's like bang on. It was just amazing. And then one of the things he was talking about in this podcast, which is what I talk about in the Living a Life of Magic, I talk about in the podcast, I talk about all the time with different things, is about being in the present moment. And he was saying how it can be really hard for us to be in the present moment because being in the present moment takes us into uncertainty, whereas our brains love to either reflect on the past or plan for the future. And that's thousands of years of conditioning, and how now and always have been, it's like coming into the present moment and knowing that being uncertainty is okay because we're trusting in the universe, we're trusting in our life, we're trusting in the magic, we're trusting in our higher selves. And so it's trusting that it's okay to be in the present. So it was really fascinating, and it was about accepting the presence and letting go. And we know this, and I share this, and it was just really interesting to hear it from someone else. Anyway, this is magical anyway. But then, guess what happened? So we get to East Preston, where we go, and we love to go for a walk. And we decided that we were going to have some breakfast when we got there and then go for a walk. And sometimes we do that and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have breakfast after our walk, but we were hungry and I needed the loo, to be fair. So, and so did Will. So anyway, we get there and we park on the opposite side of the road. So if you just think a minute, all these like things that happened, Will was going to go on his own, he didn't. We listened to this podcast. It's like the whole kind of sequence of events led us to this moment, switching over the other side of the road to park. We get out the car and then we hear these voices. Oi, oi, Will, Carolina. And we're like, who's that? Scott and Nicola. Yeah, it was Scott and Nicola. Can you believe it? So magical, so incredible. They got up about an hour and a half, got there about an hour and a half before us. They'd been for their walk, the walk that we do. They'd been to the cafe. They'd come back and they were just walking back to their car. And we'd parked behind them. It was amazing. It really was. And it was so magical because literally I'd thought about them the night before. Scott had been thinking about us as well and being in the consciousness, and our great friends we bumped into. How magical. And so we were catching up with them and having a conversation, and it was just really interesting. Really, I love that. Really. It's like how I emphasize that it was really interesting instead of, oh, it was interesting. But what was great was that we hadn't seen them for a few weeks, And we caught up. So I caught up with Nicola about her work and all that was going on with her. And then Scott and I discussed it. Because do you remember I shared with you back in the summer that Scott was really helping me out with my videos? And he kind of helped direct me, and he was coaching me on how to do videos and stuff. And he said, "Oh, you're doing really great, Carolina. I'm loving your videos and I'm loving all of that, blah, 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 blah." And then I said to him, "How are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm just being in each present moment." He said, I'm like working on like just accepting the present, and I'm just being in the present." I was like, wow, we just like talked about that on we were just talking about that in the car. We just listened to that on Joe Dispenza, and it's like, wow, this is magic in motion. It just confirmed everything we talked about, and then Scott like was saying it, and it confirmed it for him. And I tell you, we walked away from seeing them with an absolute spring in our step, because it uplifted us. And if ever any of you have read The Celestine Prophecy, which was the first spiritual book I ever read, it talks about how we have this tribe and this community that uplifts us. And yeah, I really hope that Scott and Nicola left as uplifted as we did, because we really were really like, it was just the magic. And I've been thinking a lot about magic, so I just want to talk about this. So anyway, that was that. And I was just checking. Sorry, I've got distracted then, so I'm just making sure that it's recording. So I really hope it is, because otherwise I have to re-record the whole thing because my mic's not working. So yeah, let's hope so. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh my gosh, I got distracted. Scott and Nicola. And yeah, so Scott, if you're listening, it was really great to see you yesterday, whenever you listen to this. It really was. And Nicola, it was great, and can't wait to see you soon. So so we carried on with our walk. I know what I was saying. So yeah, that's magic. So magic right there. And I've been thinking a lot about magic because we've been doing Magical March, and I really hope that you've been enjoying the Magical March theme that has been going on with the blogs and everything. But I've also been thinking a lot about magic because of the course that is now going to be. I've got a drum roll, please. I can't do a drum roll. No. Anyway, drum roll. We've got a date to launch the course, the video course, and that is the 2nd of April. So do watch out for the new course, because it's incredible. It's got so many videos of me going through all the steps to living a life of magic. And also, you know, we can change our lives. We literally can. And this is what I'm sharing with you in my course as to how I changed my life. And this is the tools that I'm giving you within this course, is what I've used to change mine, and subjects that I've been finding really fascinating and been really inquiring on. And this is what Dr. Joe Dispenza was talking about today, about these tools. And that's what we're covering in Living a Life of Magic. And yeah, I'm really excited. So I've been really reflecting on the magic. And I think I've really been like really trying to hone down what the magic is. And Joe Dispenza talked about the magic today, and he was saying that when we're aligned, when we are clear, and when we step into the present moment with clarity, with no baggage, with firmly rooted in the present and clear and present, and we are connected to that unknown source energy, magic can happen. Because the magic is the energy that connects everything, and it's the magic that the brain can't understand. And synchronicity happens when we just live our daily lives present. And that's then when the magic can come in. That's where the synchronicities can happen. That's where the flow can happen. That's when we think of someone and then they show up on our reality. That's when we are just going about our human being lives infused with magic. with that amazing thing that our brains just can't wrap its head around. That's what the magic is. It's turning up and accepting and letting go of whatever's in this present moment. Pure acceptance. And when we do that, magic can happen. And Joe Dispenza was saying that this morning, and it was just so inspiring. So yeah, so I'm kind of been looking at all that magic and putting the content together for the magic theme, and literally we can live any life that we want to live. We can create whatever we want to create in our life. We literally can. And this week I've been quite busy as well, because not only am I like recording all these videos for Living a Life of Magic, also Will's been editing the course, the words, the workbooks, the everything, and we're like living and breathing it. And as I've mentioned, we've got such a great team, and Alistair's working hard on it, and Amelia and Bex, and this course is awesome, and it's wonderful. Because it was written quite some time ago, but bringing it alive with lots of visuals and videos, it's just amazing, and I can't wait to release it. So it's coming out on the 2nd of April, and it's coming out at a very, very special price as well, so do watch out for it. So Will and I also this week have been out for a couple of walks. We did a 4.6 mile-ish walk on a Tuesday. Yeah, it was hard because we live on top of Box Hill, so we were going down Box Hill and then came back up. And we just chose, because we're loving finding new routes now, and we just chose this steepest way to come back. We were pretty out of breath, and my legs were shaking and my body was shaking, but it was really awesome. And guess what? Didn't need a reward, because the walk itself was a reward enough. There we go. If anyone listens to that podcast a few weeks ago, you'll know what I'm talking about there. Yeah, we did a couple of those walks, and it was really awesome. It really was. It was just nice to be able to have some time to be able to do that. So I've been getting into work really, really early, and then leaving at like 3, something like that. So we've been having the afternoons, because the weather's been so beautiful here in England. It's been so nice. I'm going to kind of do my week kind of a bit like scattered, because there's quite a lot to the week, but and there's a few bits that I want to talk about. But I've been seeing a few clients for Reiki this week, and I tell you, it's blissful having a Reiki session. I know I talk about this, but it's been so blissful. It really has. Absolutely amazing. Giving Reiki and receiving Reiki is just one of the most blissful things, I think. One of the many ways to feel bliss, but it's a great way to feel the bliss. It really is. So my Reiki clients this week, one was coming in because she was feeling really anxious and she had health anxiety. Another client came in because they were stressed from a divorce, and another one, and so yeah, that was great, and it really helped them. And also someone else came in with some trauma, and she was holding it all in her heart area and her throat area, and you could literally feel it as soon as I ran my hands over her energy field. You could just feel this block. Very interesting. So lots of clearing, lots of centering, lots of grounding. And then someone booked in for a 90-minute Reiki session. What a treat. What a treat for them, and what a treat for me. Honestly, so blissful. It was incredible. It really was. And she came in because she felt very discombobulated, uncentered, ungrounding, and she just wanted some time out for herself. And yeah, it was a very powerful session. And just being in that beautiful, blissful, relaxing energy for that amount of time was awesome. And the time just went like that. It was like we were together for 5 minutes. Honestly, those Reiki healing sessions are amazing. So yeah, they were amazing. They're so magical. But what was great was the conversations that you have afterwards. And one of the conversations that I had this week was about self-care and the importance of self-care. And she really interestingly said, but taking time out for me is selfish. And I feel guilty. Listen to this. It's selfish and I feel guilty for taking time out for me. How many of us have said that? I know I have over the years. Do you say that? Have you said that in the past? As I said to her, self-love, self-care is essential because we have to take care of ourselves to be able to take care of others. We literally cannot give from empty. We can't. We have to give from an overflowing bucket of self-care, of self-love, of energy. So I really wanted to share this on this Sunday Catch-Up podcast because how many people can resonate with that? And I know I can. And I know I'm not the greatest at doing self-care, but I'm definitely 1,000 times better than I ever was. And I love taking time out now for me. I really do. I love my meditations. I love our walks. I love having a lovely, beautiful bath. I love just meditating, and I've bought myself a beautiful notepad art like sketchbook with some coloured pens this week to do some doodling and do some journaling and do some stuff like that. So we must take care of ourselves to live a life of magic, to connect to your magic within, to connect to your soul. You need to be taking time out. You can't do it on empty. You really can't. And the best way to lead a magical life is to connect to that soul energy, to connect to the consciousness and to free yourself full of baggage. It is. So yeah, self-care is essential. It really is. So that was a really good discussion. So also, I'm going to talk about boundaries in a minute because my daughter was really great at saying no to me this week. And I just want to share with you the process that I went through having been on the receiving end of a no. And I know it was hard, but I'll talk about that in a minute because I just want to come back to Sunday. So Sunday last week, because I know I recorded it on the Saturday, and I remember saying that on the podcast last week. But this week, last Sunday, we did Reiki Connection, where our beautiful Reiki community that we've like attuned, Alison and I now, must be over 200 people, I reckon. It must be. I haven't counted recently, but it must be. It must be getting on for that. Anyway, we a few of us got together last Sunday, and it was amazing to connect and to be in that Reiki consciousness. It was just absolutely beautiful, and it was so nice to get back to, because we haven't done it since before Christmas, so it was just really nice. We had a cup of tea, we had a cake, we shopped, we meditated, we sent distant healing, we did this really awesome thing that came out of nowhere. It was a magical moment where I was very guided to do a distant healing magic exercise, and it was incredible. Yeah, it was just really nice. It's just nice to be imbued in the magic. It really is. And the more present we become, the more these magical moments are happening, and I'm really beginning to notice them happening. Well, I'm not really beginning because I've been noticing them for a while, but I'm like seeing them more and talking about them more and just noticing more magic coming in. It's just really magical. Anyway, so shall I share this boundary story with you? And then I think that's all. I think that's it. I think so, but we'll see what happens after the boundary story. So part of living a life of magic and some stuff that we've been working on and that I've been looking at for the magic theme this week, and part of it is about a commitment to ourselves, and that's the blog that's coming out this week. And part of the commitment to ourselves is about setting boundaries, and I did a recording about learning to say no. So if you find yourself saying yes, but if you find yourself saying yes, but you want to say no, it's about setting those boundaries to know that it's safe for you to say no if it doesn't fulfill you. Because I know from past experience that I have done things that I haven't wanted to do because I haven't wanted to upset the other person. I've done things to just kind of, that was part of my like love strategy, and it never fulfills us. It doesn't do anything for anyone. And so it's about learning to saying no and to setting those boundaries. And my daughter set a massive boundary with me this week. So she is coming, so I'm going to share it with you because it's funny. So she is coming back from Bali on the 8th of April, and I can't wait to see her. You know, my children are in their 30s. I still think they're my babies, and I know they're not my babies, and I know they're adults. And I'm really lucky that we have a great relationship, and we love seeing each other, and we love connecting, we love spending time together. And I don't doubt that. I love them. They know that. I know they love me, and all the rest of it. But Harriet's got an engagement party coming up, and Amelia was saying she didn't know what she was going to wear. And she said she was going to go shopping the day after she arrived with her sister. Now, me being me, and this is where I'm learning all about boundaries too, and I'm definitely much better, but I slipped into, I need to go shopping. I'll come with you. Uh-oh, uh-oh, no, no, no. And Amelia, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. She went, Mum, no. She said, I want to spend time with my sister. I want sister time. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course you do. Sorry, love. Absolutely. But she put this boundary right in, and I was so taken. There was part of me that was so taken aback. And then there was part of me that was like, wow, I'm talking about boundaries, and she's just put this massive boundary in where she's gone, no, Mum, I'm going to have sister time. And yay, I was so happy that she did that. But actually, what happened when I put the phone down, I felt really bad. I was like, oh, I want to go shopping with them, because we always have fun when we go shopping, because we do an annual shopping trip. And it was like, oh, and there was part of me, and I had such mixed emotions where I was like, oh, I feel a bit sad. And then there was part of me was like, but that's really great. And I'm really happy that she wants to spend sister time, and she's just put a boundary in. But yeah, I feel really sad. And so I acknowledged. So what I did, I acknowledged it. So I put the phone down and I acknowledged. I was like, I'm feeling really sad, but yet I'm also feeling really happy because she's going to have sister time, and I know that that's really important and they need to have that. So there was like, I was in this like, I had a foot in one and a foot in another, and my brain was just like, oh, what's going on here? It's like I've got the sadness, and then I've got the happiness, and I just embraced it. I just was like, it's okay. It's okay to feel this. It's okay. And I was like, no, this is okay. And I just was like, oh, I'm feeling sad in my tummy, and that's okay. And I'm feeling happy, and that's okay. And I just completely accepted it. And then it just went. And then about 10 minutes later, she had obviously felt it, because she messaged me and she said, maybe we can catch up later in the afternoon. Maybe we can meet up then, and we can go for a walk or something. And I was able to go back and said, yeah, no worries. Let's just see. Let's just play it by ear. I am off. And if we're free, let's meet up. And if not, maybe you want to go shopping for longer, and that's okay. It was brilliant. It was boundary in motion, and I absolutely loved it. And yeah, so I just think that the more conscious we become about our emotions, and the more conscious we become about our thoughts, the more we'll connect. Well, the more baggage we'll be able to drop, the more we'll be able to clear ourselves, and the more we'll be able to not play those games, and we won't be led by our programming or our conditioning. And it was really great to witness that in motion. It really was. And again, witnessing the magic that happened today was awesome. And also seeing my clients this week and having these great chats about self-care and reassuring that they're okay. They're not that anymore. They can be here and now and work on the gratitude, the love, and everything that's going well in their lives right now. So yeah, so feeling huge gratitude for my week. How's your week been? I hope it's been a good one. I hope you've seen some magical moments. And if you like this podcast and you would be happy, and if you do it, just subscribe to my channel, whatever you're watching it on. And if you can comment, it really helps, and I'm still trying to get my head around these algorithms. If you can, that would be amazing. I would really appreciate it. Oh, I've got an ending now, haven't I, before I go into the meditation? Let me find the ending. Sorry. Yeah, that's my week wrapped up. What stood out, what shifted, and what I'm taking forward. And so now it's over to you. What moments shaped your week? What inspired you? Let's keep the conversation going. Come and connect with me on at the Soul Coach, or YouTube, or at the shop, Quest in Epsom, Surrey, or just email me, carolina@thesoulcoach.com. Or yeah, YouTube's a good one. Put out lots of stuff, and I did a really great meditation this week that should be coming out today, which is Saturday, on about connecting to your presence. So that was good. If this episode spoke to you, feel free to share it, tag me, or send it to someone who might enjoy it too. See you next week for another reflection. But until then, do take care, stay present, and keep journeying within. And let's just do a meditation. And just let's fingers crossed that this is recorded. Otherwise, I'll be doing it all again. Fingers crossed. Yeah, let's do a meditation. So closing your eyes and just taking a deep breath in and out. Oh, that was my tummy. Sorry. And oh gosh, let's start again. I'm so sorry. My tummy just decided to go then. Okay, deep breath in and breathing out. Knowing all is well in this moment. It really is. Nowhere else for you to go, nothing for you to do. Just come into this moment. You've got this. Welcoming all your thoughts and your feelings. Welcoming all the sounds around you. And just coming to your heart this week. Just becoming aware of your heart. You can surround it in green energy. Just see it surrounded in green energy. Who loves you? And who do you love? Allowing that green energy just to expand. So you can just feel that beautiful love in and around you. Feeling that love for yourself, love for others, love from your spirit, love from your loved ones in spirit, and your unseen helpers and friends. Feeling all that love, knowing you're okay, knowing all is well. And just imagine now, just visualize that love going into your week, your new week. Just sending love through to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sending love. Sending lots of love to you. Really hope you have a magical week.